So I'm from the US, and I don't actually believe that my vote has any impact. That said, I will be voting this election cycle. I'm Colin Wright, and you are watching Consider This. So everywhere I've been in the world, no matter how diverse and different the culture might be from my own, the people are typically pretty great. These are people who will treat you the same way that you would treat a stranger. They'll take care of you, they'll make sure that you're okay. These are not horrible people, even if they believe radically different things from you. Another consistency that I found, though, is that in all of these places, and including my own home country of the United States, politicians tend to be assholes. I don't know which comes first, the horribleness of the human being or the political power that they acquire, whether it's a certain type of person that gravitates towards that type of power, or if it's the power itself that corrupts. But either way, every place that I've been, with incredibly few exceptions, politicians tend to be horrible. Now, this is only part of why I've become a little bit disillusioned with the political process and the voting system in particular. The other reason is that mathematically, my vote doesn't actually count for much. And that's the fault of the system, but also the politicians who change that system over time in order to make it easier for certain people to acquire power and certain people to stay at the bottom of the totem pole. But I'm also not a huge fan of the system that we have here in the United States in particular, where it's only two parties that are generally taken seriously, and of them, if I vote, I'm typically voting for the lesser of two evils, for the group or the individual that I hate less. The democratic process in the United States then has become largely kind of a placebo effect, because somebody like me can't really participate. I don't have enough money to buy a lobbyist who then buys a politician for me, and as a result, most of my needs remain unmet. And my vote doesn't really count for anything mathematically, except on the very, very local level, and so as a result, I have very little incentive to participate or get excited about the process to begin with. The reason that I'm voting is not that I think anything has changed with what I've just described. I still think that my vote matters not at all, but I do think that statistics matter more now than ever before. Now, political parties have all kinds of powers that they didn't have before, and among them is the collection of massive amounts of data. And if you look at the demographics that they're catering to, these are the demographics that actually go out and vote. And so as a result, those of us who are disillusioned with the process get less representation because we don't get out and vote. It's not that our votes actually matter in any real way, not directly, not in the way that they're supposed to. But because we have the data that shows who does vote and who doesn't, those who go out and participate in this song and dance actually get more catered to in the next election cycle. And so my theory is this. My theory is that if I get out there and vote and get other people who are like me to get out and vote, people of the same age range, who have the same sophistication with technology, the same concerns that I happen to have, being born when I was, the level of education that I have, things like this, then I will be better represented by the politicians who make it into power. I don't think any of this will change the way that things work, and I don't think it will change the fact that politicians don't actually believe anything. They just say what they need to say based on the statistics that they're reading. But I do think that we can control those statistics, and if we embrace this element of it, rather than wholesale embracing the process as it's presented to us, then we're better able to participate on a level that will actually make real change. I don't believe in the political system as it is now any more than I did before, and I think that there's a lot of changes that would have to be made on a fundamental level before I could wholesale buy into it and really believe in the system as it's presented to us. That said, I do think that there's a lot of untapped potential there and a lot of power that we have that we're not utilizing. So hopefully what we can do until then, until major changes are made, is recognize this power and go out and use it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a like would be awesome. A subscribe would be even better. Feel free to share with your family, with your friends, with people who believe in the political process, with people who don't. And if you want to hear or learn more about me and my work, you can check out colin.io and find out all kinds of things about me. Probably way more than you wanted to know. Thanks, guys.